What's going on, everyone? Rob Lewis here. The powerful video that you're about to see is the result of an impromptu Toastmaster speech that I had to give. In this actual speech is the story of how my 6-year-old son inspired me unknowingly during this family exercise that my wife and I put together. And as it inspired me to live my life to the fullest, I know that it can help inspire you guys as well. Here's the video. Raise your hand if you have a dream, a goal, a desire, an intent. Raise your hand. If you don't have a dream, a goal, a desire, an intent, a thought, maybe that will get everybody, right? Maybe an issue. Now, a lot of us have different dreams. We've got big dreams, small dreams, different dreams. I want you to think about the one dream, the one desire, the one goal that really motivates you, that you wake up in the morning thirsting to progress toward. The other day, it was on the weekend, I decided to do an exercise with my family that I usually do with executives to figure out what type of corporate culture they really desire in the workplace. The exercises, I typically ask them, recreate in your mind or create the perfect work environment. If we were looking through a glass window and observing your workers, how would they be interacting? Describe what they'd be doing, how they'd be doing it, how would it be different from today? From that exercise, we derive words, and from those words, we derive a culture, or desired culture, not the culture they have. That's very important to understand. So I did this exercise with my family, and I told my wife, I said, I want us to be quiet, I want to see what the kids say. So I've got a 6-year-old, a 5-year-old, and an 8-month-old. The 8-month-old contributed quite a bit. So I asked them this, I said, guys, if we were the perfect family, if we had everything like you wanted to be home with the family, everything was good, perfect, how would we be? What would we do differently? And I didn't know what to expect because it was just an experiment. A 5-year-old, 6-year-old. Well, one of my sons, the oldest, Robert, says, Papa, we would all be the fastest people in the world. We'd be like the Flash. In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, so we'd be superheroes. I'm imagining like the red tights, like running really fast. And I say, okay, well, let me ask you a question. And this is an important question that Tina brought up. Why? Why do you want us to be the Flash? And he said, that way you can go really, really, really fast to work, and then go really, really, really fast back, and you can go really, really fast to the beach, and we can spend all day at the beach together. And then we can go really, really fast back home, and we go really, really fast to Legoland, and we can all spend all day at Legoland together. It's so amazing how little kids' brains work, isn't it? But it made me take a step back and think, wow, like I've always been the type to never really want to retire. I just really enjoy working, right? And my kids lately have been asking, hey, when you retire, do you think you can pick me up from school every day? Now, I'm not saying that it made me realize I should work so that I can rest more, okay? But it did make me take a step back and think, why do I want what I want? Why do I have this dream? And is it leading to what will make me a better man? I mean, it kind of blows my mind that a 6-year-old could give such wise advice through their own special way. Recently, or actually about a year ago almost, I was in Spain, and I was feeling really good about speaking. I had just gone to Russia for a speech, and I was invited to Spain. It was the same city where I served as a missionary for 2 years, and I was in my hotel room doing my ritual the night before. The ritual is I not only go through my speech and the slides and everything, but I pick a couple of the great speakers, Les Brown, Tony Robbins, and I listen to them and I mimic their speeches. So I think I was listening to like Les Brown, and I mean, the people in the hotel room probably thought I was crazy. Like, what the heck is this? Because Les Brown, he gets really into it. So I'm doing something like, and it's within you. Your dreams can become a reality. With the accent and everything, even though it's bad. I get a call from my dad. And it's not abnormal because he would call me to wish me luck periodically. So he calls me and I could tell right away that his voice was different. And immediately I went from the super high of like imitating Les Brown to like, okay, what is going on? He said, Rob, I really contemplated whether I should call you or not before your big speech. But I wanted to let you know that last night your grandfather fell and he hit his head and he passed away. Mm-hmm. And it made me take a step back again and realize that life is really short. And I remember his funeral. We all got up there and we talked about the great things that he had done. He would always tell these really bad jokes, but he wanted to make people laugh. He'd say, hey, Rob, guess what? And say, what? He'd say, that's what. Just these silly jokes. But it was a very celebratory event. And it made me think, if we were to fast forward to our funerals and we were to observe as a third party what happened, what was going on, and what people were saying, what would we want them to say about us? Are they going to get up and say, well, this person became a millionaire? Maybe like in public service if like it's Warren Buffett or something, but what are they really going to say and what do you want them to say? And do you want them to say it with conviction or because they think that's what you wanted to hear if you're looking down on them? I don't know about you guys, but I want them to say it with conviction. Now let me ask you a question. If you just take a moment to think about your funeral and the things that you would want said about you by your children, your friends, your loved ones. I'd like you to think about the top thing, the one thing that is most important that you be known for and remembered for. And I want you to write that thing next to your dream. And we'll call that your value. The value you hold most dear. Here is a question. Looking at both your value and your dream, do they align? Do they work together? Do they get you to the same place? If they do, then great. If they don't, time to take a step back and reassess and evaluate. I'd like to challenge you to commit to thinking about the value that you wrote down and thinking about the one thing that you can do today, that will get you one step closer to becoming that man or woman you desire to be. That value. What is that one thing? Not tomorrow, not in a week, not in a year. What's the one thing that you can act on and do today without fail that will get you closer to there? Can I get your commitment that you will do that one thing? Good job on the nod. Can I get a yes? Yeah.